Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
we're
6,
ready.
7,
I guess
that's it.
we're live. All right, that's how one of the things go. We are back here at Baty-Simmang Stadium, just about ready to start. Now, for those of you who were wondering what was going on, we had a little bit of a lightning delay, and we're fixing to kick off here. Both teams are back out of the locker room, and they're warming up a little bit and getting ready to go with the second half of the game. Before we get there, we do want to mention this is the first live broadcast of HSZone.tv. It's the goal of HS Sports, HSZone.tv, to showcase area high school student athletes, band participants, and scholars. If you'd like to sponsor these live broadcasts and help us showcase these El Paso students, please contact Miguel Mendez. He's the director and producer for HSZone.tv. Give him a call, 915-412-5447. And of course, we here at Herald Post are enjoying our new partnership with HSZone.tv. And again, if you want to see your ads in our radio broadcasts and these TV broadcasts, give us a call. We've got some very exciting news coming up next week. Some big shows coming up, so you want to stay tuned for that. But get your business in now. Give us a call at sales, 915-315-1478. That's El Paso Herald Post Sales.com. So, Tony, let's talk a little bit about that first half. Again, first half was 3-0 at the end of the first, and then boom.
The Andress Eagles, we knew coming into this game they had a lot of talent, a lot of guys that could make plays in space, and we really got to see that in the second half, especially through or the second quarter, I should say, especially through the passing game. In fact, Dominique Smith, quarterback for the Eagles, 6 for 10, 164 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that first half. So again, he's showing off his arm, but making a couple big plays down the field. But also Andress started running the ball pretty effectively. Once they got Jalen Joseph in the game, it seemed like the Eagles were having a little bit more success running the ball.
And that tempo that the Eagles did, I mean, they're able just to go out there and within a couple of plays, 1 or 2 plays, get that score. And you said it, after that first problem, they did nothing but score.
Yeah, they did nothing but score. In fact, in a game like this where you're going up against Bowie that likes to hold the ball, you're not going to get as many possessions as you typically see. But the one thing that I've been really impressed with Andress is just how efficient they've been on offense. They had 4 possessions in that first half and got points out of all 4 of them. The only one where they didn't score a touchdown was that first drive, where they had the holding penalty in the red zone and it kicked the field goal. But still, 24-7, field goal and then 3 touchdowns. Can't really ask for much more if you're head coach Jeff Woodruff.
And there you have the beautiful star on the mountain. Look to the mountain for the star. That was the old program on KTSM before they would light it up back in the late 50s through the 60s, all the way through the 70s. And now you look to the mountain and you are home. So we're back here, second half action. 24-7, the Eagles lead this one. And guess what? They get the ball right back here. Here's a little bit of a pooch kick that goes short at the 30. And not going to go much further than that, as Bowie has a great job of shutting that play down, and that's some good special teams to start this second half.
Yeah, good special teams, but really, I would say if Bowie wants really any sort of chance of sticking around in this game, they have to find a way to stop the Eagles and get something going on defense. Just because Andress has had answers for everything tonight.
Yeah, if you're a Bowie faithful, they're going to have to stop him a 3 and out here, get him to punt, and march right down the field. Something that we've seen them do throughout the season. If you're an Eagles fan, they'll keep on the accelerator. Don't let off right now. So here we go, first down and 10 to start the second half. Eagles lead 24-7. And Smith hands off to the first back through, and that's Lewis once again, and gets 2 tough yards off the left side.
Yeah, just take a look at some of the individual leaders in that first half for the Eagles. Jalen Joseph, 4 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. As we mentioned with Dominique Smith, 6 for 10, 164 yards and a touchdown. One of his targets, Trey Maes, has 2 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown.
Here we go again. Just a real quick handoff. Wants to throw, faked it, throws it underneath, and there it is once again. I believe that's Barron once again off to that left side. And we've heard his, check that. That was 88 on the play. That's the first time he's actually caught one in this ball game. So here we go with a first down and 10 for the Andress Eagles as they are approaching the midfield stripe here at Baty-Simmang Stadium. Smith, straight drop. Now he's got some pursuit on the backside, just over the receiver on the near side. And that again, once again, number 88. We're trying to get that player's name as he does not appear on either of our rosters.
Right, but he looks like a pretty tall target out there. And that's one thing the Eagles do have at their advantage. Have a couple of receivers at 6'2", 6'3", And that could, at least in terms of matchups, that could really present a problem for a lot of teams in the rest of this district.
And you take a look at their wide receiver, Mestas, too. I mean, he's right up there in that flat. 2nd down and 10. Same place. There's going to be a pitch near side, and it's taking on the corner 50, 45. Cuts it back upfield. Boy, here goes Lewis. Lewis all the way down to the 10-yard line before he's rolled over there. And Lewis showing some of that speed that we saw in that first half.
Yeah, again, that's really been first big run of the game here for Lewis. It looks like they're going to mark it back. That bounce probably around the 13-yard line. So about a 40-yard run. Big play there from Lewis.
In a little over a minute, this Andress Eagle team is starting to steamroll once again. 1st down and 10 from the 13. Handoff Lewis inside, cuts it back inside. 5, one man to beat, into the end zone. Touchdown, Andress.
And again, just Andress now starting to impose their will, making it look easy. That drive took less than a minute, and in fact, the last 3 drives now for the Andress Eagles have taken less than a minute.
And you said it on your Twitter feed, hashtag efficiency, and they have been very efficient here tonight. And again, the maroon and gold are celebrating this touchdown, 30-7, pending this point after. As Ramos on to try the extra point, he's been nothing but perfect all night and all season long, up and good. 11:02, less than a minute into this second half, and the onslaught from the Eagles continues as they now lead the Bowie Bears 31-7. And again, you're sitting here watching us. Thank you for listening to us on epheraldpost.com. And of course on hszone.tv. We appreciate that. You guys joining us both via audio and video. We're going to get the kinks worked out as far as the streaming on Herald Post. We had a couple of embed problems, but we'll shake that out as we go forward. But some pretty big games coming up next week that we'll be bringing you from the SAC, and then a special announcement next Wednesday about a very special coverage. Tony?
And we have the latest drive summary here for the Andress Eagles. 5 plays, 68 yards, took all of 50 seconds, capped off by the 12-yard run by Dorian Lewis, his first of the night. Extra point good, making it 31-7, and for Dorian Lewis, touchdown run number 2 of the year. Actually, now for the Eagles, because of that, they now have 10 rushing touchdowns on the season.
And we're only halfway through the season.
Only halfway through the season. That's the thing. Eagles have a lot of weapons.
All right, kick is up and short, and it's going to bounce right about the 40-yard line, and one of the upbacks took it, and he got his bell rung. And gets a hand up there, and I'll tell you, Macias got hit hard as he came up as the upback trying to field that one, and I don't know if he's going to be doing that again. He's going to be thinking twice.
I don't think so, but still, creative play there by Woodruff trying to get something going, because Andress actually came very, very close to recovering that, which would have been Eagles football, and then all of a sudden you're looking at real problems here for the Bowie Bears.
Still not completely out of control for the Bowie Bears. They need to march down here and have a statement drive in the next few minutes to keep their team in this ball game. 1st down and 10 for the Bears. Mark the ball at the 40-yard line. And this one goes right up the gut. There's the statement. How about that? No penalties. 10, 5, touchdown. What a statement. Justin Diaz turns on the afterburners, and that is a touchdown as there are no bandanas on the Bermuda.
Right on cue, a 60-yard run from Diaz. And just like you said, Chris, that's they needed to make a statement, and a quick one-play drive for the Bowie Bears, something that we don't see very often from this team. But hey, at this point for the Bears, you take him any way you can get him.
A very efficient play that one was. Anything you can do, I can do better. And the Bowie Bears come right back. Extra point pending. Lewis kicked up. Lopez gets it, and that is good. 10:52 left to go here in the third quarter, and we might have a ball game as the Bears answer with a quick run, and they get back on the scoreboard. They trail 31-14, and not too many stats to talk about on that drive.
That's about as easy of a drive here. One play, 60 yards, all of 10 seconds. The 60-yard run by Diaz, and Bowie Bears hanging around now, and making 31-14 here in the third quarter.
Now the question is, if you're Robert Badia, is it time for the onsides? Do you do a pooch kick? Do you do it to the upbacks? What are you looking at here?
I would definitely think about doing it at this point, considering how quickly Andress was able to move the ball down the field in the last drive. And if you're looking at a defense, I think they just need a rest, need a break. And so I think you try anything you can get to give them that break.
Now they've put some of the, like when we were taking a look at them in pregame, they put some of their second string running backs in right off the bat, and they're going to go ahead and pooch kick this one quick to the 40, and he does exactly what he needs to do, and that's just fall on it. I believe that might have been Cedric Allen. And he picks it up and ends up having first down and 10. So there was a little bit of a pooch kick, went a little bit further than I think they wanted it to.
Right.
But still puts them at first down and 10 from the 40. So now the pressure is on this Bowie defense. Get them stopped somehow, or even get a turnover.
Right.
And again, you're not getting off the accelerator if you're the Eagles.
No, absolutely not. It's something that you want to keep running your offense just the way you've been doing. And 5 possessions, five scores, can't really get more efficient than that.
Smith hands off to Lewis, and Lewis is met by blue jerseys right at the line of scrimmage and driven back 2 yards.
That actually looked like that was actually 31. Jalen Joseph there on the carry, being pushed back. Good, nice push that time up front by the Bowie defensive line. Really considered one of the strengths of the team, and they're really going to need Coach Badia is going to have to really need him to step up here in the second half.
Bowie's moved to a 4-man front here, second down, and let's call it 12. Here's a play action, rolling out right side, pass overthrown, intended receiver that time is Joshua Lopez. And not able to get it, yeah.
Now all of a sudden, this becomes a pretty important play here especially for the Bowie defense. They can get off the field, they can get the ball back and take control. Maybe I know they have to think about the clock here with possession of time, but at the very least, you give your defense a break, you score a touchdown. I mean, it's a 2-score game. Sometimes
quick is not good, and this is a very quick third down right here. Smith wants to throw. Now he's got pressure. He's going to have to scramble, and he's got some room. Looking over to the near side, throwing underneath. Pass is caught. What a great catch by Darian Smith, and he gets some yards after carry. And boy, that's just one of those things that this Andress team seems to pull out.
Yeah, just and a huge catch. The second real big catch of the game for Darian Smith. He had the big 62-yard catch in the first half to set up an Andress score, and that time able to get open and get a big 14-yard gain for a first down.
So Dominique Smith and the Eagles speeding up just a bit here, offset to the left. He steps up, changes the count just a bit, 9:51. Eagles lead 31-14. Here's a handoff inside. Joseph cuts it back outside and still on his feet all the way down to the 30-yard line, taking on some of the Bears. But there is a flag on that far side.
Yeah.
And judging from where that is, that's usually a holding penalty.
Right, yeah, this one's probably going to come back here for the Andress Eagles. And that was one thing. If there was one thing that Andress kind of struggled with in that first half, was just the number of penalties. 5 penalties for 40 yards, including 2 penalties that extended drives for the Bowie Bears. And that's really, and I know for the Eagles, you're up by 17, but you don't want to put yourself in bad spots like that. So we'll have to see what's going on. But it also looks like we have an injury on the far sideline near the Bowie bench.
Yeah, right where Lewis had been turned up and out of bounds, one of the Bears is down. So again, it will be holding against the Eagles. It's offsetting penalties because apparently it was one against Bowie as well, so that kind of sets it up for a second down. But 9:36 left to go. Big difference between 38-14 and 21-31. I mean, that's a mental toughness right there. They stop them here, they've got to go back and touchdown. They've got within 2 scores.
Yeah, 2 scores, and Bowie, if they can force a turnover or two, put their offense on a short field, all of a sudden this game becomes a lot more interesting. This is a Bowie team that they're going to play hard right to the very end. You really can't let your guard up against a team like this, and just another pivotal possession. And said that at the start of the second half, but again, both teams.
Here it is, yeah.
Yeah, both teams very explosive on that drive.
So here we go. We're back here live in the press boxes. We have the injury timeout. And again, a little bit more about this partnership since we have a chance to talk about it. Herald Post, again, we've been doing these streaming radio broadcasts for the last 2 years. And now we've partnered with Miguel's team over at hszone.tv. And we're going to bring more and more of these games to you as the season goes. And of course, as we move into the playoffs, you'll see a little bit more of this. Of course, we got the flashy graphics and all that stuff. But if you really want to go ahead and help us out, give Miguel a call, 915-412-5447. Get your business in front of this crowd. I mean, this is what high school football is about, featuring the bands, featuring everybody else, and that's what we'd like to do here at Herald Post and hszone.tv. And I'll tell you, this is just the first one. And where are you going to be tomorrow night with the KRD crew?
Tomorrow with the KRD crew, I will actually be out on the west side of town for Eastwood and Franklin, a very compelling 6A matchup. Big game for both teams after they each lost their district opener. Really need to find a way to bounce back. And two teams with a lot of talent on offense, so definitely expecting a shootout tomorrow there on the west side.
I'll tell you, that Eastwood team, they've risen to the occasion before, and this is a very interesting game. Halfway through the season, a great matchup, and really it could determine the fate of both these teams' seasons.
It really could, and that's actually what ended up happening last year. Franklin defeated Eastwood last year, 41-40. Franklin got a late stop on a 2-point conversion to win that game, and Franklin actually ended up getting the last spot in the playoffs. So that game, like you said, could decide who gets to go to the playoffs again this season.
Again, that's on Friday Night Football. Football Friday night on 600 ESPN El Paso. And here's Smith scrambling for his life. Right side throws off his back foot. Pass is caught and then dropped. Oh, what a heartbreak pass on that one. It was completely open up underneath. But again, Smith has been having to run for his life on those couple ones.
Oh.
So it's Curry on the intended receiver.
Yeah. James Curry's the Andress Eagle trying to make the play there. Just had plenty of space to work with, just not able to secure the grab.
And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10. So Smith wants to get upfield once again. Single receivers to both sides. A little bit of a low snap, recovers it, and evades the sack, but just keeps on running, keeps on pushing. And now he's going to turn the corner, and he gets past the 50-yard line all the way into Bear territory, right about the 46-yard line.
Now that was a big 2-yard gain, because that easily could have turned into a 4 or 5-yard loss, as the Bowie Bears that time doing a great job getting pressure on that defensive line. Jose Varela was one of the first guys back there for the Bears, and Jose Varela along with Julian Lopez, and had Dominique Smith really running for his life on that play.
And there's his athleticism, able to dodge it, turn right, hang it, and actually turn a loss of 5 into a gain of at least 3. Now 3rd down, let's call it 7. Smith is going to have to get something here, and now we have a timeout taken by the Bowie Bears, their first charge timeout of the half. And you got to believe that Robert Padilla is going to be a lot more careful with those timeouts in the second half than what happened in the first.
Yeah, that really came back to bite him. I actually had to take all 3 timeouts, I believe, on defense in that first half.
Yeah, that was just odd.
Just odd, just not really the defense being on the same page that time. And again, especially for the Bears, they're down 17, they're trying to make a comeback. You want to preserve those timeouts, especially with the style of offense Bowie runs. I mean, yeah, they got the 60-yard run there for a touchdown, but you're not going to get plays like that every single time.
Yeah, it's going to be a situation where you're going to need Padilla and crew are going to have to get that defensive line to they're containing him. They're getting to Smith. They just need to contain those corners, and if they can do that, this could be a completely different ballgame in the next quarter and a half.
Yeah, it certainly could. So I know we talked about pivotal plays. I would say this is probably one of the most important plays of the game coming up right here. 3rd and 8. You have a chance to at least get the Eagles off the field and let your offense go to work and at least take some time off the clock.
And maybe run the same play, get one of them busted out on that one. So here we go. Dominique Smith, 3rd down and 7. Bowie puts 4 up front, go to Swine. He wants to throw. Looking left, throwing right, throws. It's caught. He bobbled it, and he still went forward and got the first down.
And that's my Estes that time, coming up with a big third down conversion. The second time in this game that the Eagles have been able to convert on 3rd down and keep drives alive. And again, those are just back-breaking plays for Bowie. Turning a
3rd and 7 to a 1st and 10, and they seem to be doing that. Now the Eagles come out with triple receivers to the near, 1 to the far. A little bit of a draw, a low snap, but it still gets the handoff, and it goes for a good 5 yards, and that's, again, there's that chunk of yards on 1st down.
Yeah, Jalen Joseph again. He's Only had a few carries. In fact, just his 5th carry of the game, but certainly made an impact so far. 5 carries for 42 yards and a touchdown here in this game tonight.
And a little bit of a different scheme being shown by the Eagles now. They're showing triples onto the near side. It's causing Bowie to have to actually shift as it gets lined up. Here we go. Handoff inside, and this one looked like it was shut down, but it's still running. What great second effort that time by Joshua Lopez.
And again, that's Jalen Joseph there on the run for the Andress Eagles, and just a good job at least getting 1 yard out of that play. 31 on the carry.
Yeah, that's one of those things where he jumps in there. He's so quick that he turns sideways. That looks like another number, but here we go. 3rd down, another critical 3rd down play. See if the Bears can get this stopped. They're going to go ahead and put 5 on the line. Attempt to get this drive stopped. Low snap. Smith wants to go. He rolls out, and it's again caught and dropped underneath, and that was a close one right there. And Toski, check that, Darian Smith, the wide receiver. Again, now he's starting to see what we saw against Pebble Hills with a little bit too much gas on those throws.
Yeah, a little bit too much gas that time, but if you're Darian Smith, you got to find a way to secure that. It looked like he would have been either at the 1st down marker, might have gotten the 1st down or very close to it, and all of a sudden now big 4th down upcoming here for the Eagles.
And look at who's offset. 4th down, let's call it a long 6. And I thought for a split second they were going to go and get the playoff, but Bowie has taken a second timeout.
And again, regardless of what happens in the final results of this game, that is going to be something that Robert Padilla is going to have to address with his team.
You've got to get those defensive sets. You cannot burn these timeouts, especially against a team like the Eagles, who have been able to convert on a 3rd, and now looking at a 4th down.
Yeah, looking at a 4th down. Just you'll need those timeouts late in the game, and just, again, when you're down 17, you need to find a way to preserve as much time as you can. So we'll have to see if that has an impact down the road, especially if this game becomes a little bit closer. But again, just you can't have those kind of mistakes if you're Bowie.
Burn those timeouts. Again, they're working on that as the timeout is over. There you see the cheerleaders from Bowie and the cheerleaders from Andress on. Again, this is one of those stadiums where both fans, the fandom for both are on the same side. They split the field right down the middle. 4th down, and let's call it 6.5. A big play here for Smith and company, and see what the Bowie defense does as he looks to the sidelines and gets another reset. 16 seconds left on the play clock. Triples to the near, 1 to the far. And Smith, straight drop. Here comes somebody on the weak side. Throws, passes, complete. 1-on-1 coverage, touchdown, Eagles.
A great play there on 4th down to Marcos Baron, who all of a sudden has become one of the favorite targets of Dominic Smith. Now the 3rd touchdown pass of the night.
You know what? The adjustment was made, and I'll tell you what, Dominic Smith did a great job of adjusting. They saw that 1-on-1 coverage, and again, you have that height differential between the Eagles receivers and the Bowie secondary. And now, again, he's been perfect all night. On to do the kicking as Ramos awaits the snap. Is down. Kick is up. And it is good. 7:03 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. And now the Eagles are up on top, 38-14 over the Bowie Bears. And it's one of those situations where we talked about it, character time. You're going to need to come back if you're the Bowie Bears with something spectacular. And you saw it on that one play on their last drive. But really, all that time off the clock and a fairly long drive for the Eagles.
Yeah, a fairly long drive for the Eagles. Took almost 4 minutes off the clock there, and again, a big touchdown. Just being able to convert on 3rd down, in that case 4th down, picking up a big touchdown on that play.
So now we've got the kickoff team out there once again as we catch a little bit of a lightning flash over to the west, over by Mount Cristo Rey. We'll see. I believe that storm might be moving in the opposite direction, but starting to smell a little bit more moisture in the air. And I know the east side has certainly been hit today. There's the kick. It's a high one. And taken at the 15, 20, 25, and right into the heart of that coverage for the Eagles. And very difficult to actually wrestle him down. And that time, Diaz did a good job of getting out at least almost to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, And very quickly here, taking a look at that last drive for the Andress Eagles. 10 plays, 60 yards, 3 minutes and 49 seconds, a 34-yard touchdown pass to Marcos Baron from Dominique Smith. His third touchdown pass of the night, second touchdown catch for Marcos Baron. But more importantly, 2 big third down conversions and a fourth down conversion for the Eagles really kept that drive going.
So here we go. Bowie starting at their own 27-yard line. And this one's going to be a give to the right side. He cuts it back inside. And I believe that's Felix once again, and he runs in to a couple of the linebackers that shot that gap and really kept that play from going any further. Second down and 8.
And again, that offensive efficiency continues for the Andress Eagles. 6 possessions, 6 scores, 5 touchdowns, and a field goal. That is, if nothing else, at least for this game, if you're head coach Jeff Woodruff, you have to be very, very pleased with that.
That total time of possession is going to be pretty interesting to see at the end of this one. Second down, let's call it 7. Here's a handoff left side. And again, that time it's Diaz once again. He cuts it back inside, and really not that much room there. Gabriel Ormasil, the defensive end, makes the stop as he cut it back inside, picks up 2 tough yards inside, and that'll bring up third down and a long 5 for the Bowie Bears. And just that quickly, looking at a third down situation, and that defense, is got to be saying, "Hey, give us a chance to take a breath here."
Right. Yeah. This is a big play for the Bowie offense, just trying to stay on the field.
Yeah, split back, straight drop, wants to throw. Throwing left side, has a receiver out there. He falls down, and here comes the flag. And again, a big, big apparent penalty here. Wow, that was thrown into double coverage going backwards, but the refs are going to call that closness contact.
Yeah, it looked like that was Andrew Henderson, again, number 14. On coverage there for the Eagles, and it's just kind of hard to tell, but it looked like he never really got quite turned around to make a play on the ball.
Yeah, it was just he was continued running at the very last second. He kind of looked at it, but was done. But again, penalties. If you're the Eagles, here's another one.
Yep, 15-yard penalty and the first down. And again, like I said, there was one area where the Andress Eagles kind of struggled a little bit. It was with penalties. They had a couple that kept drives alive, and again, you have another example of that right there. 6 penalties for 55 yards on the night for the Eagles now.
Wow, so that'll bring up first down and 10. Mark the ball just shy of the midfield stripe at the 48-yard line. And Ponce splits receivers to each side, offset back, and he hands off to the first back through it. He is big rush, picks up 4 on the play. And that's exactly what you want to see when Martinez is running that ball. If I'm not mistaken, that's his first carry of the ball game.
It is Gustavo Martinez, the senior running back for the Bowie Bears, getting his first carry of the night right there, and a solid gain of 4 yards on first down.
That'll bring up second down and a long 7 for the Bears, and clock will go inside of 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. It's Andress 38, Bowie 14. Certainly closer game than we've seen, but again, Bowie remains to be seen what they're going to do here. Here's another quick handoff, first back through, and that time he is pushed backwards, bent nearly backwards on that one, and really Diaz had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Diaz had nowhere to go. Did pick up 3 yards though, and gives the Bowie Bears at least a little bit more of a manageable third down situation. And I think at this point that there pretty much isn't any doubt about what the Bears are going to do the rest of this game. Any opportunity, even if you don't get on third down, they're
going to run it.
Yeah, pretty much 4 down territory here the rest of this game.
At this point, they're right back to the what they were running in that first quarter, and that was you're good, strong running inside, and now third down and short into Eagle territory at the Andress 45. Dual backs, handoff goes first back through, and still does not get much, and he ran pretty much horizontally and only got nothing.
Yeah, didn't get anything there. That was Valles there on the carry, his first carry of the second half, and he's been pretty bottled up on the last couple of carries after being able to get a few nice chunks to start this game. The Andress Eagles defense done a nice job of really limiting his opportunities. Now, third straight run where Valles has not been able to gain any yards.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. Now they're looking at fourth down, and now the clock inside of play clock's inside of 15 seconds. The big clock.
Seconds.
Yeah, this is going to be a quick play here, or else they're going to end up getting a penalty call. 5 seconds, 4. He's going to be close on this one for a fourth down. And did they burn their last timeout?
They did.
Oh my goodness. Well, that kind of sets up for a weird quarter and a third, as it were, because now you're going to have to. You can't play ball control. You're just got to go for it now. There's no question.
Yeah, you just have to go for it now. And again, just timeout management, just getting everybody on the same page. That's really hurt the Bowie Bears and their chances tonight.
Last week when we were at the SAC, we saw what was the team that burned their play in the first quarter?
That was, I think, Franklin.
It was Franklin, and they were hurt the rest of that quarter.
No, actually, take it back. It was Socorro.
It was Socorro. It was Socorro. And it's one of those situations where you really got to conserve those timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm seeing is the coach not sure. I'm not gonna, by any stretch of the imagination going to say that I know what he's saying, but the quarterback goes out there and it stops and comes back, and you got to be frustrated at that point about it. If your quarterback is still kind of got his brains a little bit scrambled.
And it's just been really a theme all night, whether it's been on offense or on defense. Now, the thing is with Bowie, they lost a lot of experience from last year. Yeah. 17 seniors from last year's defending, District 1 5A championship team, and just a lot of new pieces, a lot of guys who maybe aren't used to these kind of roles. And again, it's just been tough going tonight for the Bears.
Well, here goes Ponce here on 4th down and 2. And complete mess up on this one. What is the call? I don't see a penalty.
Yeah, I never saw a flag come down. I'm not sure.
Did they not whistle the ball into play?
I don't think they did. So I think I think it was more the officials weren't ready.
Yeah, the officials weren't ready. The guys went up and tried to run the play and didn't go anywhere.
All right, now let's try this again.
All right, let's try. This is your second 4th down. Yep. We'll try it on this one. Twins to the far side. Everybody else in tight for Ponce. And Ponce hands off in through it. Whoa, plenty of room that time. And boy, did Diaz get hit as he cleared that line of scrimmage and all the way down to the 40-yard line. Woo, what a hit by Lerdma from Andress. But it is a first down.
Big first down there for Bowie, keeping the drive alive. And again, Lerma, we've seen him lay the wood tonight on a few hits. Did get called for that one penalty, but able to stay out of hurting his team anymore on that last play.
First down and 10 for the Bears. Straight drop, wants to throw, looking, pressure left side, has a receiver out there and overthrows his receiver, and that was right there. I'll tell you, Ponce led him the right way, just a little bit too much mustard on that hot dog.
Yeah, just a little bit too much that time. It just ran him out there on the ran him out there on the sideline there. I believe that was the intended receiver Gustavo Martinez there on the cover, trying to catch it, but just led him a little bit too far that time.
And the Bowie faithful showing a little bit of worry on their face here as they look at 2:55 left to go here in the third quarter. Their Bears are trailing 38-14. A very, very important drive here if the Bears want to kind of stay in this one and make a play of it in the fourth quarter. Here's Ponce with another handoff, and again, that time the Eagles were completely ready, and that was a loss. You know what? That's interesting because the loss would have been about 4 yards, but the referee marked the contact after only a loss of 1 yard.
Yeah, only loss of 1 yard. And you do have to say this for the Andrews defense. I know, yes, they gave up the 160-yard run, but other than that, they've done a pretty good job of really containing this Bowie rushing offense. The final stats might not dictate it, but again, just keep putting him in third and long situations. The Eagles have made a nice adjustment from the first quarter.
Hermosillo and Munoz, the defensive tackle and the middle linebacker, have been doing it. Here's Ponce to throw. Left side has a receiver out there going up, climbing the ladder, not high enough. Incomplete right at the 10-yard line. And they're going to say that there was a penalty after the pass, and they're going to say that they hit the quarterback late.
Yeah, it looks like that one's flag thrown around the 45-yard line of Andress. And we'll see what actually happened. I was focusing on the ball, not really sure who came in to make the hit. But
yeah, they're marking off 15. They're saying roughing the passer. And again, dead ball personal foul. And there's 15 yards that the Eagles did not need at that time. And automatic first down for the Bears now, knocking on the door of the red zone. They'll have the ball, first down and 10 at the Andress 26-yard line. 7
penalties for 70 yards now for the Andress Eagles tonight.
Well, somebody's going to be running stadiums over at Andress, I can tell you that much. First down and 10. Here's a little misdirection play, cuts it back inside, still on his feet, cuts it back for at least a yard, but Martinez really didn't get much more than that, and he was pushed backwards.
Yeah, good job by the Eagles up front. penetrating the offensive line. And again, Joshua Lopez, it seems like we've called his name a few times tonight, making a good open field tackle there for the Andress Eagles.
Loss of about a yard. That'll bring up second down 11. Now we're inside of 2 minutes. And really, you would hope that the Bears were going to do a quick strike, but this drive's starting to lag out a bit.
Yeah, now down to about a minute and a half to go here in the third quarter.
Ponce splits receivers to each side. And up underneath center, straight drop. There's pressure. Stops, throws, right side, passes, bobbled and then caught, and still being bobbled, and he's been pushed back. I'll tell you, great catch there by Diaz, and they're going to give him forward progress, but wow, there were four gold jerseys in on that stop for the Eagles.
Yeah, great catch that time. That was actually 25, Andrew Jimenez making the catch, his first catch of the game, and able to get at least some positive yardage back. Only looks like about 3 or 4 yards, but probably going to give him 4. So, but again, that puts them at a 3rd and long here, and that's a tough spot here for the Bowie Bears.
And these Eagles are getting a lot more aggressive on that defense. They're putting a little bit more pressure and starting to close in on Ponce here. 44 seconds left to go. 3rd down, let's call it 8 for the Bears. Controlled roll, wants to outrun the coverage, cuts it up, has some room, and he only gets the 20-yard line, if that, and that's going to bring up 4th down with 28 seconds, and the clock will run inside of that. They might have a chance at running one more play, but they don't have a timeout.
Right,
they're stuck.
They don't have a timeout, and right now they don't have to run another play here. So, and I think that's what Badia is going to go ahead and figure out here. Just put up. Looks like it'll be 4th and 4 when we start the fourth quarter here.
So a very entertaining 3 quarters, and we also had that lightning delay for almost 30 minutes, but we are back here. Hold up the 4. It's 4th quarter, 4 quarters here at Bowie's Baty-Simmang Stadium. It's the Andress Eagles 38, the Bowie Bears 14, and now no timeouts.
Yeah.
What do you do if you're Coach Padilla?
Right now, if I'm Coach Padilla, I'm looking at least for maybe a pass towards the sideline, looking for just something, anything. Anything, just get to the first down marker.
Get to the first down marker and get out of bounds. That's
exactly.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking you got to do here. Got to just find some way to get the play to the outside, which is tough against the Andress defense, because at least between these two teams, you can tell there's a significant speed advantage with the Andress defense against this Bowie offense.
And they've been able to stretch that line of scrimmage and really shut it down, whereas that first drive, they were actually letting Bowie get those corners. They haven't done much at the corner since then.
Right, yeah. Ever since that first drive, that's been a nice adjustment there by this Andress defense. Again, with playing an offense like that, sometimes the stats may not reflect, having a good game, but you really have to give credit to this Bowie or this Andress defense. Really, since that first drive, and really, other than the 60-yard run,
that's
really,
been it. Yeah,
that's really been that really has been the only chunk play that they've given up so far for this Bowie offense. So credit to the defense there.
Well, here we go, starting the 4th quarter of action. Bowie comes up 4th down, and let's call it 5 from the Eagle 20-yard line. And they're getting the instruction. They got twin receivers to the far side. And the backs right now is Diaz. So here we go on 4th and 5. Motion to the near side. That's first time we've seen that all evening. To throwing outside. Receiver is out there all alone for the first down, and the coverage slipped. Great catch there. That's got to be Carlos Varela
that is
the
Varela.
flat. And I don't know who it was out there that was covering, but I saw an Andress player slip and fall, and that was just enough for a first down, and that's exactly what the Bears needed.
Yep, exactly what the Bears needed, and that's what I kind of figured that they were going to do. Try to get a first down, try to get a route past the sticks and towards the sideline, trying to preserve as much clock as they can.
Bowie's faithful on the edge of their seats here. First down and 10 from the 15. Wants to throwing into the corner of the end zone. It is no good, incomplete. He tried to do the tippy toe act, but just was not able to get it. And again, Varela with back-to-back, he caught it. It was just out of bounds.
Right, I caught it out of bounds, but even if he was able to hang on to that, I'm not sure that would have been a touchdown anyway. That throw was a little bit out there towards the sideline. Really didn't give him much of a chance.
Yeah, if you're going to lead your receiver, you need to go a little bit deeper in the end zone and have that cut start a little bit earlier. 2nd down and 10 now for the Bears. They come this side with twin receivers. 2 backs in behind him. And a quick handoff that time. Once again, that's Diaz on the carry, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and not much more than that. And just like that, 3rd down for these Bears. And again, the clock ticks because they have no timeouts. They've got to go ahead and get this play, get it set, let everybody know what's going on as they get personnel shuffled in and out.
Yeah, just looking at the stats here, really, like I said, other than that big 60-yard run by Diaz, just the longest run beyond that has been 5 yards for the Bowie Bears in the second half.
So here we go, 3rd down, wing right, 2 backs in behind Ponce. Ponce, control roll. Now he's going to get sacked, and that thing was coming all night long.
Yeah, great pressure that time by the Andress Eagles. Looks like that was 33 for Andress. Nathan Hernandez, the first one to get back there, and then Keontae Liggins, the sophomore linebacker, able to finish that off for a big loss of about 6 yards. Great pressure that time from Andress.
Really no choice here for the Bears but to go for it. They're going to have to pull something out of their magic bear bag of tricks if they're going to go ahead and get it. So 10:08 left to go in the ball game. They trail 38-14. And again, we knew that coverage at some point that those Andress Eagles were going to get to Ponce at quarterback. They split 2 receivers out to the far side. That's Diaz and Varela. And now looking at man coverage. Ponce wants to throw. Throwing right side, has a step on him. Caught. It is spiked out of bounds by the coverage. And what great coverage there. And that is exactly what the Eagles needed.
Yeah, great coverage that time. But that was actually Trey Maestas out there playing out there on defense, getting good coverage there on Varela. Just really all he had to do, just knock the ball away, just make sure that Varela didn't come up with the touchdown. And
Trey got up there like a volleyball player and just like literally spiked it out of the air.
Pretty much, yeah. It definitely helps to be a 6-foot corner in that situation.
So Dominique Smith and the Eagles have the ball back at their own 20-yard line. And this one, expect them just to go ahead and start pounding it out right inside. And that time Lewis picks up a couple of 3 yards inside. That'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, again, just trying to take care of business here. Looks like Andress has this game pretty well in control, and give them credit. I mean, offensively, they've been just very efficient tonight with the limited number of possessions, and just overall did a nice job of really holding down Bowie's running game.
Dangerous play on that one as it was a low snap, and it could have gotten away that time. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Gabe Herrera is in at quarterback now for the Eagles. And boy, that's the last thing you need is a turnover here and give the ball right back to the Bears.
Yeah, that is the last thing you want to do. I mean, you're up 24, but you don't want to give Bowie a short field and at least give him any hope to try to make a comeback and rally here in this game.
8:49 left to go in the ball game. 38-14. The Eagles lead the Bears here at Baty-Simmang Stadium. And again, the Eagles in no rush to get these plays in as the play clock clicks inside of 10 seconds. 3rd down, and let's call it 16. And they're going to let this thing go for a while and call timeout. They let the referee know. So that's the first charge timeout against the Eagles, and that's their first of the second half. And again, this game, we knew it was going to be close. We knew that Andress was going to have to come out. Their 2-2 record not really indicative of how hard they played.
Right.
Bowie at 3-1, again, played a hard schedule. We knew this was going to be a character-defining game for both these teams.
Right, and a character-defining game, and for Bowie, like especially trying to get one of these games is important because they have Chapin next week, and this schedule does not get any easier. And if Bowie wants to try to get back to the playoffs, you'd have to think going up against Burgess, Andress, and Chapin to start. That is a very, very tough slate to open district play, and just another tough test. But give credit to Andress. We wanted. I had mentioned at the start of the broadcast that they wanted to see Andress play a complete game. I mean, they lost the last 2 games. They beat El Paso High, but they didn't look all that great. They kind of got off to a slow start, but this has really been a complete game from start to finish.
This is more or less, to me, it looks like the completion of the El Paso High game for the Eagles. They've actually found what they needed at that second, third quarters, and now they're just continuing it here. Here's 3rd down and 16. Again, new quarterback in there is Herrera, and he's going to want to throw near side. That is going to be a free play as there was a penalty on the far side.
Play blown dead. False start there on the Andress Eagles.
So now back-to-back, I don't want to say errors, but just a couple of mistakes now, and now you're back down and it's 3rd and 20 with obviously resting your starting quarterback. As again, you look forward, if you're Andress, you're looking down the line as they play Irvin at home next week. Very tough matchup, but is Gabe Herrera, the sophomore, 5'4", the quarterback, is he ready for this kind of pressure here, considering the Bears are still going to come after him?
Right, Bears are still going to come after him, but in a game like this, you want to give your backup quarterback some reps just in case if something does happen to Dominique later in the season.
3rd down to pass, straight drop, completely different look, throwing left side, and it was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and then tipped again as they tried to get to the receiver. And that one, I believe, is that Barron again? That was the intended receiver?
I believe that was Maestas, actually, 15. But good coverage that time by Manny Mijares for the Bowie Bears. Nice job of breaking up that pass.
Yeah, it was broken up twice, and now dropping back for the Bears is Moran. And he'll be good to go here.
And this is actually the first punt of the night for the Andress Eagles.
Well, at some point, they was going to come around. 38-14, 8:15 left to go in the ball game. And Moran comes up, bounces, and now he's going to have to chase it. And this thing is going to take a big Eagle bounce all the way down to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Bears will have 1st down and 10 with just over 8 minutes left to go in the ball game. So again, we're going to have some other games coming up here. Of course, next week we have our doubleheader, Eastlake and Hanks. And then the second one, a very interesting game in the second half of that doubleheader.
Yeah, Franklin Montwood. Montwood has looked like arguably one of the best teams in the city so far this season. 4-0. You have the dynamic quarterback wide receiver combination, Andrew Fernandez, Tyrese Andrews. Just very exciting to watch. But Franklin, I mentioned it earlier, I'll get to see him again tomorrow. Big game for the Cougars in that one.
It's a good scouting game for you for next week. So we'll have that doubleheader for you right here live on Herald Post Radio. 1st down. Here's a little counter back. New back in the is Emmanuel Marquez, and he is off to the races all the way down to the 45, 46-yard line. And the first time he's carried the ball today, I believe.
No, that was actually Felix, 21
was
there
it
on the
Felix
carry.
or was it 24?
I believe that was 21.
Well, either way, it's a 1st down.
Yeah, first down for Bowie. And that has been their longest run of the game since that longest run of the second half since the 60-yard touchdown run by Diaz on the first play of the second half for the Bears.
So here we go with 1st down and 10. Very quick run over there. Mark the ball right about the 46-yard line, and once it wants to throw, loops it to the near side. It is broken up, and a great job. There's Mestas once again with just getting in the way, and Trey gets another bat away, and great coverage.
Right, great coverage there by Maestas, and really a guy that I know, we talked about like versatility. Andress has a lot of tall physical receivers like Keyshawn White, for example.
Yeah.
But Maestas, I think, has really emerged as potentially a go-to target. Not only as a receiver, but also
as a defense,
as a defensive back. And that's had some good coverage on these Bowie receivers tonight.
7:23 left to go in the ball game. 38-14. Andress in the lead now, motion to the near side, and the handoff goes to the first back through, and he stumbles through, still on his feet, and gets all the way down, and Moran gets close, but is going to be about 4 yards short, and that'll bring up 3rd down.
That was actually Moran with the carry, his first carry tonight. So the Bears, trying to get the ball, trying to get the ball as many players as he can. And for Bowie, like I said, they're down 24 with under 7 minutes to go. Not going to be a very uphill climb here for the Bears.
Once it puts a man in motion, And this time the handoff goes to the opposite side, and boy, Felix has some room all the way down to 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Bowie. Wow. Nathan Felix got everybody faked out to the near side. That motion came to the near side, and Felix just popped it out, found the seam, and he was gone.
I mean, again, Felix showing off a little bit of speed that time. You know, be able to break the tackle, and again, nice job there by the Bowie Bears. Good blocking and good use of misdirection to try to force that play. And again, outside, able to find some success.
And everybody bought into it, and it was just that quickly, and they get the points. 6:37 left to go in the ball game. There's a snap. Kick is up for the extra point. It is good. 38-21. Certainly a little bit better for the Bears as the touchdown flag is out for the Bowie faithful here at Baty-Simmang Stadium. And they get that one back. And I'll tell you, that young man, Felix, just went straight through. And again, that was that misdirection that we hadn't seen earlier. They put that man in motion. It brings that defensive back over, and he was just able to shoot straight through.
Yeah, just able to run straight through. Good use of misdirection, and that's what makes playing this Bowie offense just so hard to game plan for. They're able to misdirect you and just go a lot of different ways with the football. And again, I mean, I know it's uphill climb, but give credit to Bowie. This is a team that will not quit. They will not quit. They have to face them off to the very end, and again, down 17 points. I mean, stranger things have happened.
I've seen in a high school game, I've seen a team that was down by 4 scores do that in less than 6 minutes. So anything is possible in high school football. But you got to wonder if Padilla and company are going to go ahead and try and do another little pooch kick, and the Eagles have their hands team out there.
Yeah, and just very quickly on that last drive, 4 plays, 66 yards, 2 minutes and 24 seconds. The 48-yard touchdown run by Felix. Extra point good, makes it 38-21. Still in favor of the Andress Eagles.
So here we go. They bring in a couple more runners here on the side of the Bowie Bears, and they get this one off to the right side, and that's the problem if they don't get it to bounce or get it to go too high. That gets it shut down, and that time Gallegos picks it up and gives the Andress Eagles pretty decent field position already into Bowie territory right at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, just getting right there to the 47-yard line. And just, again, if you're on the hands team for special teams, your number one job is
get there.
Get the ball and just hold on to it. Just let your offense
just fall down,
do its thing, and just let the rest take care of itself.
So out of the spread, again, they're giving their second-string quarterback a little bit more time here. And this is a quick handoff that is smothered quickly. And boy, that bear was in there as fast as I've ever seen it. And that was a great stop there, right up the gut. Troy Torres on the stop.
Yeah, good job by Torres there to be the first guy back there. But you mentioned this earlier. How big is it that Bowie doesn't have any more timeouts? They can't stop the clock.
Yeah, there's no way. Really, they can take their time. Andress still has 2 of their timeouts here. And they're going to let that second string run these pass plays, and you can get the feeling that they're trying to feel out how this is going to work in the playoff stretch. Here's a pass complete left side, and just a very, very easy pass to that far side receiver. And again,
Darren Smith, number 2.
Smith with just a little bit of time, just angle it right over, but not enough for a first down. That'll bring up 3rd down. Let's call it 3. And again, they're very content, the Eagles are, to call the play in and get their hands on their hips and walk around a little bit.
Right. Just at this point for Andress, you just want to make sure you get everybody healthy, finish out the game, and finish strong.
So here we go on 3rd down and short. Bowie jumps, but they get back. Now they reset the play as Herrera looks back over to the coaching staff, and they go ahead and call it in. 10 seconds on the play clock. And Herrera will get it off as it's a pitch to the near side, and it's a pretty decent play, and good job by the Bears to string this one out, but they turned the corner, and that's exactly what Jalen Joseph does. Finds the corner and accelerates through and dares you to stop it.
Yeah, just another good run there by Jalen Joseph. And really, Andress has been able to get it done on the ground with really a number of guys, 3 different guys.
Yeah,
we actually have Lewis with 68 yards and a score, Dominic Smith 43 for 24 yards, I should say, but then Jalen Joseph 51 yards and a touchdown.
Here's another pass play, a little sweep pass out to the outside, and it's caught and then knocked for a loss. And that time, really nowhere to go on that one, but outside. And Dorian Lewis is knocked for a loss. They mark it as a loss of, gosh, that didn't look it was like that much of a loss, but it is a loss of 5.
Yeah, loss of 5 there, but between Dorian Lewis and Jalen Joseph,
and here's a fake handoff inside to Lewis, and the guy who wants to throw again, rolling out to the right side, and it's going to be out of bounds. And that was him running for his life on that one, as Herrera really had nowhere to go.
Yeah, nowhere to go that time. Good pressure by the Bowie Bears on that one. But combined, if you take a look at the stats from Dorian Lewis and Jalen Joseph, taking a look at that combined, 14 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns between the two of them. Which, between the two of them, not flashy, but hey, it gets the job done.
Workmanlike, and again, that's the score, 38-21, and it doesn't make a difference how you get them, as long as you get them. 3rd down and long for the Eagles here with their second string, and here goes Herrera wanting to throw and still running, and he throws it into no man's land with nobody there, and he was just running for his life for the second time in a row. That's a good coverage sack, as it were.
Right, yeah, good coverage there for Bowie, and at least moving forward, that's really going to be something they're going to have to really help them to try to win games, especially going up against Chapin and at least a lot of these teams down the stretch here in District 1-5A.
Yeah, it's going to end up being one of these situations where this defense is going to be tested somewhere down the line. If they want to defend their district championship, they're going to have to depend on this defense to get it done. 4 minutes, 5 seconds left to go in the ballgame. 38-21, Eagles lead. Here they go for it on 4th down, throwing right side passes, incomplete. Intended receiver is Barron once again, and that will have the ball go over to the Bears. We've got a player who is slow to get up for the Andress Eagles.
Yeah, offensive lineman down there for the Eagles.
And that's one of the big boys up front.
Yep, Isaiah Dominguez, junior lineman for Andress down on the field. And I mentioned earlier with Jeff Woodruff that his team was a little bit banged up, and at least at this late stage of the game, the last thing you want to do is just to see somebody get hurt, and hopefully it's not too serious.
Yeah, especially somebody up front that's been giving your team the protection that they need to get out there and help them break these runs. Well, as we've talked about all night, thank you very much for joining us here on epheraldpost.com and of course on hszone.tv. We'll get these little streaming things out of the way, get it streaming live. We try to have a companion broadcast over on the Herald Post site, but such is the deal with technology. Thank you for joining us. Again, stay with us for the rest of October and the rest of the season. We've got some really good shows coming up. I can't really give you the full idea of it, but I can say this. The show that we're working on right now, it's a brand new ball game, but take out that ball. And you'll see what we're talking about come next week, and we'll have that announcement for you live right here on hszone.tv at El Paso Herald Post. So here we go. 1st down and 10, going back down the other way for the Bowie Bears with 4 minutes and zero timeouts left, and they trail in this one 38-21. And again, everybody singles either side, and they're going to throw near side. A pass is caught and brought down right the other side of the 50-yard line. That'll be 1st down.
Good catch there by Varela, just getting past the sticks and just moving the ball quickly. And Bowie will have to really try to work quickly. They want to try to at least give themselves even slightly of a chance here.
Well, it's going to look like a lot more respectable play if this ends up being a 28-38 ball game. And that's what the Bowie Bears are looking for, to see if they can drive down on this first-string defense that is definitely still in the ball game for these Andress Eagles. 1st down and 10, mark the ball at the Eagle 49-yard line. And there's a handoff wraparound left side, cuts in, rolls, and is not going to get out of bounds. You know he was trying for that sideline and just not able to get there, as Diaz was really, really struggling. He knew he wanted to get that clock stopped, and now it's going to run inside of 3:30. 2nd down, let's call it a long 6 for Bowie as they get back to the huddle. Again, it's one of those situations where they're going to try and get it in the end zone. If they don't, so much the better, but they would like to make this score just a hair closer. And the handoff goes to the first back through, and he is met by a horde of Eagles right at
on the carry.
the 45-yard line. And again, slow getting up, the players getting up, that time just continues to roll on, and that'll bring not even a gain of 1 for third down for the Bears here. 2:40 left to go here in the fourth quarter. The Eagles in charge so far, 38-21. As Ponce calls it out. Takes a handoff, bootleg right side, keeps it, has some room. Flag thrown, and that's going to be, oh my goodness, and the Ponce got hit as he went out of bounds. And that's the first flag is going to be holding. That second flag is going to be another personal foul. And gosh, that's just what we talked about.
Yeah, that is just what we talked about. It looks like Ponce being helped up by one of the assistants because he was well out of bounds, and the hit pretty much brought him all the way to the track here at Baty-Simmang Stadium, and that is something. That is pretty much the last thing you want to see at this point in the game, is to see your quarterback just take a big shot like that.
Yeah, Ponce took that big shot for a couple of seconds there. He was really just being supported by one of his coaches as his hands were kind of loose. And I can tell you, having been hit from the blind side a couple sides, you feel like taking a nap.
Yep.
You absolutely want to just, you know what, let me relax a little bit. Let me see if my body still works a bit. But to his credit, he's back inside. And they call the personal foul against the Eagles. And again, if you can point to any of the deficiencies of this Andress Eagle offense or team, it's that.
Yep, yeah.
And there's a little bit of a problem with the time continuing to run.
Yeah, you can see some of the.
There's a lot of time that ran off.
Yeah,
during the penalty and during the check. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Bowie Bears, and the referees are now looking at the clock, and they're going to have to bump this one back up because I'm thinking 40 seconds maybe. I mean, that was a long time.
At least. I mean, that play went off with, what, about 3 minutes on the clock? And
well, there you go, 82 minutes. That'll
82
work.
minutes, all right.
Hey,
So
Miguel,
we're
going into
here
overtime.
for another hour and a half. 2:08, okay, that's
a little bit better. There you go. And the Bowie faithful have been settled down by the clock being reset. They were not too pleased with that all that time running off. Oh, you know what? You ever been hit so hard that you just lose track of time?
Hey, it happens. it happens. I mean, it happens to all of us. Sometimes just lose track of time and just tough. But it looks like because of that late hit, Bowie was given the first down on that play.
Yeah, first down and 10 right at the 38-yard line. And here he goes once again. Ponce to throwing right side pass complete. And receiver is driven through. Boy, what a great catch there by Jimenez, the tight end. And he got to the other side and just shy of the first down. That'll bring up second down. Didn't get out of bounds, so that'll bring, the clock will continue to run. 1:50 left to go in the ball game. And again, the Bears simply here trying to make the game respectable by getting another score on the board and really getting their passing, which is what we had talked about, a very run-oriented team.
Yep.
Now they're moving the ball passing. You know that they're looking ahead to next week.
Right, definitely looking ahead to next week against a Chapin team that's going to present a lot of challenges for them.
And now a handoff inside, and it stopped right there. That time, Diaz is up for about a yard. And a good stop there. Clock will run inside of a minute before Bowie will be able to run one more play, and they've got maybe 2 plays at the most left in this ball game for them.
Yeah, 2 plays most. Bowie looks like they're going to fall to 0-2 in district play, 3-2 overall. But for the Andress Eagles, 3-2. More importantly, 2-0 in district play.
Exactly, and that's where it counts as we move forward. Here's a handoff left side, and really, that time Felix had nowhere to go, running into the back of his blocker, and that'll bring up fourth down with under a minute left to go. And again, you get the idea that the Bowie Bears and Robert Badia here are just trying out things for next week to see if they can get this pass. And it has worked. It's moved downfield. They've gotten the pass interference calls.
Yep, it has worked. And again, it's a Chapin team that maybe we're not really quite sure what to make of them, just because they actually played Austin, and Austin took them right down to the wire last week.
4th down. This should be the last play of the ballgame as it's handed off to the near side. And wow, he cut back inside. Diaz still on his feet, and he needed 2, got 5 for the first down. So the clock will stop as the first down markers are moved, and this one will indeed be the last play of the ballgame as he spikes it, and he'll have one more after this. So really, Baty and company are going for that last score.
Yeah,
here.
Going for that last score. Looking ahead real quick to next week for both teams. Like I mentioned just a moment ago, Bowie takes on Chapin, and both of these teams kind of in very different positions. Chapin has a big game tomorrow. Looking forward to that one. And then Andress, they go back to the Northeast, play their arch rival in Irvin.
At home.
At home, so it'll be good for them to come back. And the Eagles off to a 2-0 start here.
Could they go 3-0? We'll see what happens there. 2nd down and 10. 12 seconds left to go in this one. Bowie trails 38-21. This is pretty much just the Bears running plays for next week. And Baty throwing to the near side, it is incomplete. And Ponce threw it up there, and it was a good defense there as well by Darian Smith.
Just looking at incomplete pass. Good coverage that time by Smith. Very quickly, Chapin, Bowie's opponent next week. They travel to El Paso High to take on the Tigers tomorrow. El Paso High.
They started out quick last week.
Yeah, started out quick last week, and again, it's a Chapin team that maybe has gotten off to some slower starts that maybe we've been used to seeing. So that game could be interesting as well out there at Jones Stadium tomorrow. 3rd
down and 10. 7 seconds left to go. Ponce to throw, right side, has a receiver out there, and that one goes out of bounds. 2 seconds left to go. And he'll have one more shot at the end zone here. Again, special thanks to our entire crew here tonight. Miguel Mendez looking over our camera people and getting all the pretty shots. And again, if you'd like to sponsor these games, it's very simple. Give them a call, 915-412-5447, and we're looking to support local athletes, football, band, all of them, and bring them to you live right here on epheraldpost.com and hszone.tv. And are they going to go ahead and try for, I saw somebody coming in that looked like they want to try for a field goal, but that's a 42-yarder.
Yeah, I think there was just more confusion as to what down it actually was. I think maybe some of the Bowie defenders thought it was 4th down.
They lost it. Yeah, this is the 4th down play here.
Yeah, this will be the 4th down, and this will be the last play of the game right here.
So Ponce, he's going to take a stab at the end zone. Has time, straight drop, pursuit, throws underneath, and oh my goodness, that was nearly picked off, and you know exactly what he was thinking because there was nobody in front of him.
Yeah,
my goodness.
Nobody in front of Jalen Pickens that time. That's probably one he'd like to have back, but either way, it ends in a win for the Andress Eagles tonight.
Jalen Pickens saw nothing but a blue end zone, and he dropped the ball, but nonetheless, the Eagles do indeed get the victory. They defeat the Bowie Bears 38-21. And again, as you touched on, Bowie will be taking on Chapin next week, and Andress will be taking on Irvin, a battle of Northeast powerhouses. But again, Tony, thank you very much for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night on 600 ESPN El Paso, Football Friday night, and then we'll get you at that game. And then next Thursday,
next Thursday,
bring your sitting pants because we're going to be out at the SAC, and we'll have those games for you as well. Thank you for your patience tonight, fans. Again, this is our first live broadcast. Kind of made history. Thank you for joining us here tonight at Bowie's Baty-Simmang Stadium for this broadcast. Many more to come. Please keep an eye on hszone.tv and, of course, over on Herald Post, epheraldpost.com. That's our website for very important content announcements coming up. A big announcement coming up next week, and you'll hear about it on Wednesday. But from here at Baty-Simmang Stadium, it's all over. Even with the rain, the lightning delay, the Andress Eagles have come out on top, and they end up winning 30, they turned it off. I was going to look at it. 38-21.
Yep.
All right. For Tony Venegas, I'm Chris Babcock. For Miguel Mendez and the crew from hszone.tv, thank you very much for joining us, and you all have a good night.